This conference will now be recorded.
Uh, Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Okay, so have you practiced for the last session whatever I have taught you? Am I audible? Hello, am
Yes,
I
ma'am.
audible to you people?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, last session whatever I have taught you, you have any doubts in it? You people have any doubts?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay, so today's session I'll be starting with data validation. Okay, now I have a database. I want the user to be restricted, not to accept any other data other than whatever validation I assign to that particular column. Now I have employee name, designation. I wanted to assign some condition. Based on my condition, records need to be accepted in designation column. So I have employee name, designation, salary, but designation column I have left it blank. Now I want to give condition. Based on my condition, only those designations need to be accepted in that cell. If user tries to insert any other designation, it has to pop up a error message. Is that clear? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now I have name, designation, salary. I'll highlight this range from B2 to B6. Okay. Then you go to data tab. In data tab, go for data validation. Okay. So in data validation, I'm going to give the criteria. So in this dialog box, you have settings, input message, error alert. So first I'll be going to settings. In settings, you have data criteria. There you'll be selecting list and you have source here. So you are going to mention which are the designation that user need to insert in that column. Okay. So I would like to have manager. You give a comma, then clerk, analyst, salesman. So other than these designation, if user tries to input any other information, it has to pop up a error message. Next, I'll go to input message. Here you have title. So in my database, I have given the title as job. Here either I can type job or I can type designation. So in the title, I am giving designation and input message. Input message, I'll type a message. Select the designation from the list. Whatever designations you have entered, among them you can choose any one of them. Okay, so select the designation from the list. Then you have error alert. So you have style here. Either you can go for stop, warning, or information. I'll be selecting stop. So it has to restrict the user not to accept any other designation based on the condition that you have mentioned. So title, I'll mention it as error. So error messages, invalid designation. So if you don't mention this detail, so system is going to automatically generate the error message. Okay, now user is
Ma'am, can
yes,
you show again from the settings side?
yeah, still I'm not completed. Okay, now I'll click on OK. Now you are able to see here, you'll get one pop down and you're going to get this title designation. Select the designation from the list. So I'll click here. So here it is showing you the list of designation what you had typed. So I'll select the designation here. So for the next cell, you can select some other designation. Again for this cell, or you can use this fill hand and drag the same designation if you require. User, if the user tries to input any other designation, so it's going to pop up a error message. See, title is error, invalid designation. Or if user tries to input any other values in that cell, so it's going to pop up a error message. Clear?
What should we write in the input message?
What ma?
For input message, what are we supposed to do in input message?
I'll just repeat the same thing once again. Okay,
Yes.
this part have you understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, see, I have given validation only up to B6 cell. If I come to the next cell, you will not get that pop down. There is no validation for these particular rows. User can input anything. It will not pop up any error message. Clear? If you want to remove this validation, again select this range, go to data tab, go to data validation. You'll get this dialog box. You can go to clear all. Now if I clear and if I click on OK, now user can input anything, any designation or values. It's not going to pop up any error message. Is that clear?
Ma'am, could you show that again from the starting?
Yes. So first thing is you have a database. In that, for designation column, I have not inputted any information. So what I'm going to do is I'm selecting this range. So I'm selecting this range from B2 to B6 cell. Then I'm going for data tab, go to data validation. There you select data validation. You'll get this dialog box. You have settings, input message, error alert. So I'll go one by one. So first I'll go for settings. There you have validation criteria. There it is showing you allow. You'll get this pop down. Click here, select list. Once you select list, here you can see source option is active. So I'll click here and I'm going to mention what are the designations I require for my validation. So I am typing manager, clerk, analyst, salesman. Then I'll go for input message. In the input message, you're going to get title. So title, I want to display it as designation. What is the message it has to display? I want to display it as select the designation from the list. You have given the list of designations, right? Among that, you can choose any one of them. Okay. Next, you go for error alert. Their style is stop. You want the user to stop if user tries to insert other than whatever designation that you have mentioned in the list. So title is error. Error messages invalid. Designation. So you have three buttons here. One is clear all, OK, cancel. In case of removing this validation, you should go to clear all. But now I'm assigning the validation. To accept this information, you need to click on OK. So I'll click on OK. Here you are able to see the pop down and you can see the title here, designation. Select the designation from the list. If I click on this pop down, it will show you what are the validations that you have given. User should accept only these designations. So I'll select manager here. In the cell, I can select analyst, salesman, or if you try to insert other than whatever designations you have entered, it's going to pop up a error message. So title, it will show you error and what error message that you have given, that is going to be displayed. That is invalid designation. If not, if you try to insert some values, then also it's going to show you this error message. So you should select any of the designations what you have mentioned here. Okay. Any doubts you have in this?
No, ma'am.
Clear with this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, what I am going to do is, validation is not available for B7 cell, right? From B7, I don't have any validations, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So what I'm going to do is, I'll type faculty, I'll type some value here. Again, I'm typing some other designation. Okay. I will select this range B1, B2 to B9 now. Okay. From B7, I have entered three different information in these three cells. I want this also to be included in my validation. I want to extend my validation. Okay. Are you understanding?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So from B7 cell, B7, B8, B9, there is no validation. Okay.
Ma'am,
But
can you
whatever
write
I
once
have,
again?
In B7, B8, B9, I've entered some information. I want this information to be, means this validation has to be extended till B9. I want my data validation to be extended up to B9. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now what I'll do, again I'll go to data validation. Now it's going to show you one message. This selection contains some cells without data validation setting. Do you want to extend data validation to these cells? I want this data validation to be extended. You have to click on yes. So if I click on yes, my data validation will be extended. Click on OK. Now data validation is extended up to this cell. Now I want to round off. Which are the invalid data? I want it to be circled. So I'll click on this circle invalid data. Are you able to see? These are your invalid data. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, if you want to remove the circles, again go for this data validation, clear validation circle. In case if you want to remove this validation itself, what I am supposed to do? Go to data validation. Again, data validation. You have to click on clear all. Then OK. Now there is no validation. And if I go for circle invalid data, it will not round off because I've removed the validation itself. Now user can input any information. It's not going to display any message because you have removed the validation. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you want me to repeat? Do you want me to repeat?
Ma'am, can you repeat after selecting the data validation after that part?
Okay, now I have shown you for designation, right? Now let us go for salary. Okay, for salary, we'll try to give data validation. So first thing what I'm supposed to do, I'm supposed to select the range. So range has to commence from which cell? For validation, from where I have to select the range?
C1 to C6.
C1.
C, C2 to
C1 to
C6.
C6.
C2, because in C1 you have the field name, that is your heading. You should not select that. You should select only the blank cells. Okay, I want validation for these 5 cells. Okay, select this range from C2 to C6. Then you go for data tab. There you go for data validation. Again go for data validation. First go to settings. In settings, for numeric values, you should not select list. So I want numbers to be accepted. Okay, so I'll go for this whole number. Okay, I'll go for this whole number. Here you have data. What should be your minimum and maximum value? So you will be selecting this between. Okay, so between you can mention the minimum and maximum range. So minimum, my starting salary should be 10,000. Maximum salary is 40,000. Within this range, you can accept any values in this selected rows for which you are assigning the validation. Is it clear? Are you people understanding?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Now I'll go for input message. Title is, I'll type salary. Now input message will be enter salary between the range, enter salary between 10,000 and 40,000. Okay. So enter salary between 10,000 and 40,000. This is the input message. So next you go for error alert. So it has to restrict the user by stopping. User should not accept any salary below 10,000 and above 40,000. So title, I'll type error messages, invalid salary. Now I'll click on OK. So now in this case, you're not going to get the pop down message. User should enter the salary between 10,000 and 40,000. Now user, if he tries to insert 9,000, so it's going to pop up this error message. So you can enter the salary here between 10,000 to 40,000. So I'll mention 35,000 here. So if user tries to input 41,000, again it's going to pop up this error message. So whatever range you have given, within that range only user should input the values. Okay. So any doubts in this? Till here you have any doubts?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay. Now validation is not present from which cell?
C7.
7.
C7. So in C7, I am going to insert some values which is below 10,000 and above 40,000. I am inserting some values here. Now if I want to extend my data validation, what am I supposed to do? What I should do? I want to extend my data validation. What am I supposed to do?
Select all the input
Change the
and we
range.
have to go to data validation and
Range. What
press
should be
the
the range? What should be the range? From where should I select?
From
from
some
So I
C2 to
should
C7.
C2 to C10. I have entered the values up to C10, right?
Yes, ma'am. Now you need to go to
Okay.
data tab and in that data validation.
Yeah. Go to data validation. So you want
Click
to
yes
extend this data validation. You click on yes. Now
and OK.
click on OK. Now data validation has been extended. Now I want invalid data to be circled. So what I'll do? I'll go for data validation again. Circle invalid data. So you are able to see the circles because based on your condition, the values are not entered, but validation has been extended. In case if you don't want to see this circled validation, clear validation circles. In case if you want to remove this validation, what you have assigned, select this range, go to data validation, again go to data validation, clear all. Say okay. Any doubts? Any doubts you have?
No, ma'am. No,
Okay.
ma'am.
So your assignment will be, so you have a you have date of join column. Okay. You have to give validation for this. So what you are supposed to do? First thing you have to select the range, then go for data validation. So here under settings, you should select date. Okay. And starting date. So this is which month? August. So you want the data to be accepted from August 1st to August 8th. Okay. So starting date you give it as 1st of August and ending date you give it as 8th of August. So whatever dates in this range if you enter, only that should be accepted. So you can try with this. Are you people there?
Ma'am, can you
Yes.
show once more?
Hmm.
I want you people to accept the date from 1st of August to 8th of August. If user tries to insert any other date, it should restrict the user. I want you people to try this out. You'll be trying it out.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
What? Okay, ma'am. Your voice is, you don't want to do it.
Ma'am, from 1st August to?
8th August. Today is 8th, no? You accept
Yes, ma'am.
the records. So assume that you have set of students. They must have not joined the classes. Today is the first day. So in that case, on which day they have joined the classes, I can come to know, isn't it? Means I can give validation in that way. Now you have your classes for 10 days, right? What is the tenure of this classes? It will be for 10 days, right? Only for these 10 days, we'll have the classes between 6:30 to 8 p.m., right?
Ma'am, is there a specific like style of writing the date? Because if I'm writing 1st August 2023, I get a pop-up message saying the starting date is invalid.
In Excel, you have to type date. Okay, once again. If you type today, it's going to show you in which format it is showing you. Today is 8th or 9th.
Today is 9th.
Okay. So first what it is showing you?
The month.
Are you able to see this Excel sheet? First it
Yes,
is showing
ma'am.
you the month, then date, and then year. So you have to type it in this format.
Okay,
Okay.
ma'am.
First, you check it out with today. Always your function should commence with an equal sign. You type today. You check in which format date is displayed. Okay. So it is showing you in which format. First, it is showing you month, then date, and then year. So your validation should be given in this format. You try it once today. In case if you don't get, I can tell you in the next session.
Ma'am,
You'll try it.
could you repeat?
You'll try it or see.
Ma'am,
I want to give validation. I want to give validation for a date of join on which date this employee has joined. Okay. Or student has joined. So what I'm doing is
ma'am,
I want to give validation for this date of join from D2 to D6. Then I'll go for data validation. So you go to settings. In settings, you go for date. Okay. So what should be the starting date? Now you tell me. I will only do it. Now tell me what I have to do here. First, you have to mention month, then date, and then year. Okay. This is the starting date. Ending date is I want to accept up to 8/8. Okay. Then I'll go for input message. So I'm accepting the information only from 1st of August to 8th of August. Then go for input message. Title is date of join. Here I'll be typing enter date between 1st of August to 8th of August. Then error is title is error invalid date. Okay. So click on OK. Now it is showing you this title as date of join. Enter date between 1st of August to 8th of August. So user can input the date in this range. So if user tries to insert today is 9th, if user tries to input today's date, it's going to show you error message. It has to accept only for those days. Clear? Is it clear?
yes, ma'am.
Okay. So if you want to remove the validation or extend, already I have told you. So please try it out. So if I want to clear the validation, go to data validation. Again, data validation, clear all. Any doubts? Any doubts you have? Is it clear with data validation?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. Could you tell
Next,
us again how you, ma'am?
what ma?
Could you tell us, for example, the the data validation is still C6. How do we increase it to like C10 or like the next cells?
So here, see, D7. D7, I'm entering some date. Okay. So I'm entering month, date, year. I am typing September 1st. Okay. Then October 15th. Say November 5th. Now this is where you don't have validation. So what I'll do, I'll select the range from D2 to D9. Now again I'll go for data validation. Here it is going to show you, do you want to extend data validation to these cells? You click on yes, data validation has been extended. Say you click on OK. Now if you want to circle the invalid dates, you click on circle invalid date. Again go to data validation, select circle invalid data. So it's going to show you invalid dates here.
Okay,
Is
ma'am.
it clear?
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
So everyone is clear with this data validation?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
next I'll go for goal seek. So goal seek is the process of finding the correct input value when only the output is known. So this function goal seek, it is the process of finding the correct input value when only the output is known. You know the output, but some changes need to be done. Okay. So what I'll do, how do I calculate simple interest?
Excuse me, ma'am. Wait.
Please mute.
Ex- Excuse me, ma'am.
Huh.
Can you please explain that again?
Yeah. So what is the formula to find simple interest?
Principal amount into rate into interest by 100.
Principal amount. What all you should have to find simple interest?
Rate of interest,
Principal amount. You should have rate. You should have time. You should
Time.
have rate. And you want to find simple interest. Okay. I should have principal amount. I should have time. I should have rate. So if I want to find simple interest, always formula should commence with an equal sign. My value is present in B1, that is my principal amount. Time is 2 years. Rate is 2%. So 5,000 into 2 years for 2%, your simple interest amount is 200. If you want to calculate for number of months, so principal amount into time divided by 12. If you give, it is going to calculate for 2 months. If you don't mention, it will be calculating for 2 years. Is it clear? If you want for months, divided by 12. If not, it's going to be calculated for 2 years. And since you have mentioned 2%, I need not mention divided by 100. If you have just mentioned 2, then you have to divide it by 100. Is it clear? Are you clear?
Can you repeat it once again?
Formula should commence with an equal sign. To find simple interest, formula is principal amount into time into rate. So since you have mentioned rate as 2%, I need not divided by 100. I need not mention divided by 100. Okay. So I'll type B2, B1. B1 you have principal amount. B2 you have time, and B3 you have simple interest. Okay. So for 2 years at the rate of 2%, my simple interest amount is 200. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now I want my simple interest amount to be 500 or 540. In that case, which cell you wanted it to be, for which cell it has to be applied, whether you want your principal amount to be changed or time to be changed or rate to be changed. Okay. In this simple interest cell, I want my simple interest amount to be as 540. When I want my result cell to be 540, for which cell it has to be changed, what changes
Right.
has to be taken, whether you want your principal amount to be affected or time to be affected or rate to be affected.
Right, ma'am. Right.
Please mute. Are you understanding? Are you people understanding?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So when you're when you want to find goal see goal seek, you should be in the cell where you have got the simple interest amount. In which cell I have the simple interest amount?
P4.
B4.
B4. So be in this cell, you go for data tab, there you go for what if analysis, there you select goal seek. So in this case, target should be one single cell. I cannot select more than one cell. I can't make changes to more than one cell. Either it should be applicable for principal amount or time or rate. Okay. So I'll go to what if analysis, goal seek. So set cell is the cell in which you have the formula. You have got your simple interest amount. There you need not make any changes. To value is I want my amount to be changed. So I want my simple interest value to be 540. So changing cell is for which cell it need to be applied. So I want my principal amount to be changed. So I'll type B1 cell. I'll click on OK. Now you can see here, if my simple interest amount is 540, now I want it to be affected to my principal amount. If your amount is 13,500 for 2 years for 2%, my simple interest amount will be 540. Is that clear? You can
Yes,
click
ma'am.
on OK to retain this information. If not, if you cancel whatever information was there earlier, that only will be retained. So I'll click on OK. So I'll just show it once again. Be in B4 cell where you have the simple interest amount. You go to data tab, go to what if analysis, you select goal seek. Set cell is the cell in which you have your formula. Don't make any changes in the cell. To value, I want this simple interest amount to be 715. For which cell it need to be applied. If you want your rate to be changed, so which cell I have to mention?
B3.
So you should type B3. Click on OK. Now you can see here 13,500 is my amount for 2 years at the rate 3%. This will be my simple interest amount. So click on OK. Any doubts in this? Any doubts you have?
Ma'am, could you
No.
show me again the simple interest thing, the formula I'm getting as error?
Error. What error? You're selecting more than one cell.
No, ma'am, I'm like first giving equal to sign, then B1, B2, B3, and then
Enter.
I'm getting null.
Whether in time you have mentioned 2 years, whether you have included alphanumeric, you have only entered only the whole number, right? You have not mentioned anything with alphabets there.
I'll check, ma'am, again.
Okay, anyhow, I'll just show you once more. You have the value in B1, B2, B3. So to find simple interest, formula should commence with an equal sign. B1 into B2 into B3. So that is principal amount into time into rate. No need of mentioning divided by 100 because you have mentioned the percentage sign. It's going to calculate for 2 years at the rate of 3%. Now this is my value. Is it clear? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Got it, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, I'm
Ah,
getting 810 as answer, but you have got 715.
what value you have entered, ma?
The same values as how you have entered, ma'am. I'm getting 810 and you have 715 there.
Whether decimal places are increased or you have only whole number.
The simple interest amount, ma'am. You have got 715 and I have got 810.
Okay. I'll show it once again. You can do it once more. You have 5,000, 2 years, 2%. So formula is equal to B1 into B2 into B3. Clear? Now you got it.
Yes, ma'am. I got the
So
same. But then,
have you
but
got,
then,
have you arrived at this value?
yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now be in this cell, B4 cell. Go for what if analysis, goal seek. So set cell is the cell in which you have the formula. Don't make any changes here. Okay. To value. I want my value to be changed in B4 cell. So I'll change my value to 515. Okay. To value should be 515. So by changing cell, which cell it has to be affected. So I cannot select more than one cell. If I select more than one cell and if I click on OK, it will show you reference must be to a single cell. Okay. So either I can make changes to any one of the cell. Either you can increase your principal amount or time or rate. So I'll mention it as B1 cell. I'll click on OK. Now see, if your value is 12,875 for 2 years at the rate of 2%, this will be my simple interest amount. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am. Now I got it.
Mute ma. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now again same thing. Now here you are able to check for only one amount, right? Principal amount. If I would like to have multiple amounts, okay, and multiple rates, in that case, what will be my simple interest amount? If I want to check it out, then I can go for this scenario manager. Okay. So scenario manager, if you have collection of digital tools that allows user to create, analyze and compare data results in different business situations. In that case, I can make use of this scenario manager. I have multiple values. So multiple simple interest amount for different rates. What will be my simple interest if I want to find out? Okay. So what I will do is same example I'll be taking. So I'm in a new workbook. So what I'm doing, I have principal amount, time, rate, simple interest. So equal to principal amount into time into rate. Okay, you have got this simple interest amount. Now if you would like to have multiple principal amounts, okay, you should be in B1 cell. In this case, for scenario manager, if you want to have different principal amounts, when I select any one among them, in that case what will be my simple interest amount I want to find out? Is that clear?
Ma'am, could you repeat?
I have 4 to 5 principal amounts, different principal amount. If I choose any one among them, in that case my simple interest amount is going to be changed.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I would like to have multiple principal amount. So in that case, if I want to create a scenario manager, I should be in B1 cell. Be in B1 cell, go to data, what if analysis, you select scenario manager. I want to create group of values for principal amount. So in that case, I go for scenario manager. So I'll go for scenario manager. You are going to get one dialog box here. You click on add. If I click on add, it's going to ask you for scenario name. So I would like to have multiple principal amount. So for my understanding, so what I'm going to give the name as PAMT 1. Okay, changing cell is B1. I would like to have multiple values. So group of values for what? Principal amount. So don't make any changes for this changing cell B1. Already you are present in that cell, right? Now you click on OK. So for that cell, what should be the value? I'll type it as 10,000. I would like to have 3 more scenarios. Don't click on OK now only. You have to click on add. Click on add. Again, I'll assign the scenario name as PAMT 2. For this scenario name, I'm assigning a different value. Say 12,500. Again, click on add. I wanted to have one more scenario, PAMT 3. For this, I'm assigning a different value, say 2,750. Now I would like to have only 3 scenarios. For 3 scenarios, I have assigned different values. Now I'll click on OK. Here it's going to show you the scenario names. For this scenario name, what is the value that you have assigned? Select that cell, click on show button. See, you have assigned 10,000. If that value is selected, my principal amount, simple interest amount, automatically it has changed. Again, select the next scenario name. You click on show. Again, simple interest amount is changed. Select the third scenario. Click on show. Is it clear?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay. I would like to have one more scenario. Now I can go for add. I'll go to add. Again, I'll type PAMT4. Click on OK. So I'll assign 8,700. Now I don't want to have some more scenarios. Directly I can click on OK. Now fourth scenario has also been created. Select that scenario name, click on show. My amount is again changed here. In case any one of the scenario values, if you want to make changes, I can go for edit. I'll click on edit. For this, what value I have assigned? 8,700. In case if I want to increase or decrease, you can make changes to this value. So I'll type 11,200. I'll click on OK. If I say show, principal amount for that scenario, that value will come to the cell and my simple interest amount is changed. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
So
Yes.
ma'am.
you know how to
Yes,
assign a new
ma'am.
scenario. You know how to assign a new scenario. Existing scenario value can be changed by clicking on edit. Now, if you don't want this fourth scenario, I can go to delete. If I delete, undo option will not work for this. Okay. So undo will work only for whatever values that you type in your cell. If you have deleted, if you want to bring it back, that you can bring it back. But if you have deleted any scenario names, that you cannot bring it back by clicking on undo. Clear? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now I'm going to come out of, if you want to see the scenario summary, you can click on the summary. Okay. I'll click on this. I'll show this later. I'll click on this close. I'm coming out of this dialog box. Clear? So
Yes, ma'am.
in this sheet 1, I have different scenarios for principal amount. Now I'll go for next sheet. In the next sheet, I wanted to have I want to have different rates. Okay. So in that case, what I should do? I should be in which cell?
B3.
B3. So go to B3 cell. Now go to what if analysis, scenario manager. Now click on add. All these options are not active because you have not created any scenarios. Click on add. So I want to change the rate. I'll give it as R1. Changing cell is B3. Click on OK. So here enter values for changing cells. So I'm changing the rate here. I'll change the rate to 5%. Don't click on OK now only. Again click on add. Scenario name I'll give it as R2. You can give any name, ABC, XYZ, any name can be given. For understanding purpose, I have given it as R1 because I'm changing the rate. Or you can mention it as rate 1, rate 2, rate 3. Any name you can assign. Okay. I'll click on OK. Again, I'll mention the rate as 7%. Again, click on add. R3. This is not cell reference. This is the name of the scenario, R3. If you are getting confused with this, you can mention it as rate 1, rate 2, rate 3. Okay. Click on OK. So I'll mention it as 3%. I'll click on OK. You have three scenario names. Select that scenario name. Click on show. Now for 5,000 for 2 years at the rate of 5%, this is my simple interest. Again select the next scenario name. Click on show. Third scenario, show. Any doubts in this?
Ma'am,
So
you opened a new sheet for changing scenarios for rate. Do we always have to
Uh,
do it in a different sheet or can it be done in the same table as the previous one?
no, I want to combine this. For that, I'm showing you in different sheet. In sheet 1, you
Okay.
check for principal amount. In sheet 2, I want to have different rates. Okay. You do it in this two
Yes, ma'am.
different sheets. Okay. Then since I have a option merge, how to merge it, I wanted to show you. For that reason, in sheet 1, you will be having multiple scenarios for principal amount. In sheet 2, you have multiple scenarios for rate.
Yes, ma'am. But ma'am,
Okay.
they can be done on the same sheet, right?
I wanted you people to try it out.
Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
Thank you.
Okay.
When I tried making two scenario values in the same sheet,
Hmm.
when I go to try for the other one, I get only for the first one. So how do I do the next one scenario values?
That is why you should have it in a different sheet.
So in one
Because there
sheet you
you will
can
get,
use it only once.
because still I'm not told you about merge. When I tell you merge, you can clearly understand the concept.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Now you have any doubts with this? Any doubts?
Tell it once again. I'm unable to understand this one.
Sheet 1 data you have
Ma'am,
understood?
why R1, R2, R?
That's what, ma. If you are getting confused, it is not cell reference. Name of the scenario is, I have given it as R1. If you are getting confused with that, you change that to rate 1, rate 2, rate 3. You can give any scenario names. You understood? Did you
Ma'am,
understand?
please tell it once again.
If you are confused with the scenario name, you can edit the scenario name. You can change this to rate 1. Okay. I can change the scenario name. Okay. You can assign any names. Now is it clear? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Now I'll click on close. I'm coming out of this dialog box. I'll go to sheet 1. I'll go to sheet 1. I'll be in the cell where I've got the simple interest. You should be in the cell where you have got the simple interest. In which cell do I have the simple interest?
B4.
B4. So be in the cell, go to data, what if analysis, scenario manager. There you click on merge. When you click on merge, it is going to show you. At present, I have 2 books. I am working in which book? So I'm working in which book? I'm in
On book 1.
book 1, right? In book 1,
Yes, ma'am.
how many sheets are there? In book 1,
Two
how
Two
many
sheets.
sheets
sheets.
you have? 2 sheets. So I'll select sheet 2. I'll select sheet 2. Sheet 2 has to get merged with sheet 1. Understood? In sheet 2, I have got different scenarios for rate. I want that to be included in sheet 1 itself. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
So I'll select sheet 2. I'll click on OK. See, now in sheet 1 itself, I have both the scenarios. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now I can select different principal amount and different rates. It is showing you the changes is taking place. I have different principal amount and different rates. Now, which is the amount that I have selected? Now, at presently, what is my principal amount?
2,750.
2,750.
What is the rate?
7%.
Okay.
7%.
Now, I'll click on this summary. You have summary option. Click on the summary. I want to get the summary, scenario summary. You are working in which sheet? You
Sheet
are in which
1.
sheet? Which
Sheet
sheet
1.
is active? Sheet 1. So before this sheet 1, new sheet will be displayed. That sheet name is scenario summary. So it is going to show you. So at present you have selected 2,750 for 7%. This will be my simple interest value. I've created 3 scenarios for principal amount. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Ah,
ma'am.
so for principal amount 1, I have assigned 10,000. For principal amount 2, I have assigned 12,500. For scenario name principal amount 3, I have assigned 2,750. If currently selected rate is 7%, if it is 7%, this will be my simple interest value. Clear? as well
Yes,
as
ma'am.
it is showing you at present you have selected 2750 amount. If I select different rates, what I have created, this will be my simple interest amount. Is it clear?
Ma'am, could you show
Yes,
how
ma'am.
do you merge the two things again?
You have to click on what if analysis, scenario manager, click on summary.
Not
Click on
summary, ma'am.
summary.
So how did you merge them?
How did you merge means you have to click on merge. If you click on merge, it will show you the name of the workbook. In which book I am working? Book 1. In book 1 I have two sheets, right? Sheet
Yes,
1,
ma'am.
sheet 2. So I have to merge from sheet 2. In sheet 2 I have different rates. I want to include that rates in sheet 1 itself. So I should select sheet 2, click on OK. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now if you want to get, again go to summary, select scenario pivot table report. Click on OK. One more new sheet has been included. So here it will show you. You have created 3 scenario names for principal amount. Okay. So it will show you only the total value. So rate is nothing but 3 different rates, right? If that rate is been selected, this will be my simple interest value. For difference principal amount, different rates you have given. If that is selected, this will be my simple interest amount. So today we'll end up the session. You try it out with this. If you have any doubts, so we shall continue in the next class.
Ma'am,
Tell
could
me,
you
ma.
show the definitions for the scenario manager and goal seek and data validation? The definition
Uh,
of it.
in the next class, can I give you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, ma. Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye,
ma'am.
everyone.
Bye,
Thank
Bye,
you,
ma.
Thank
ma'am.
you,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Bye. Welcome, ma.
Thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you, ma'am.
Welcome, ma.
Ma'am.